whenever I'm writing short stories, I'm particularly thankful that I was an English teacher for 16 years. A short story is not a very easy thing to write, and I think when you look at the arena of writers, even if you just look at the Latino American writers right now who are out there producing, I think that there are many, many more poets out there right now, for example, than there are short story writers. And I attribute that to my personal belief that a short story is a very specialized craft. It's a very specialized genre that not everybody can just sit down and, well, I feel like writing a story today. I think I'm just going to sit down and I'm just going to hammer one out. It takes a lot more thinking. It takes more planning. It takes a little bit more awareness of what the purpose of a short story is, what are the elements of a short story, what is the basic structure of a short story. I was saying about poetry that in poetry you have the maximum flexibility. You can craft it however you want, short or long. You want to write a 3-page poem and a 3-line poem and publish it, that's fine. You will not be able to write a 3-line story, short story, and publish it, and it's going to be just fine. So whereas in poetry, there is so much freedom, in short stories, there are more conventions, more parameters that you need to abide by. And again, the more stories that you read and the more you educate yourself about what short story writing entails, the more you'll understand. But basically, a short story has to be telling a story. That means it has to have a beginning, it has to have a middle, it has to have an end. And these have to be woven together in a very coherent, engaging, compelling, interest-grabbing way. You want to have characters in it. If you don't have people, and sometimes like with Aesop's fables, you had animals who were acting like people, talking, feeling, and interacting with one another. But basically you have to have characters and you have to have a plot. And a plot has to be something that happened that's important enough or engaging enough to us that we want to see, well, what happened? How did it start? How did it evolve? How did the people in it react to it? What role did they have in it? And you always want to have a very appropriate, very meaningful, hopefully very thought-provoking, hopefully an individually enriching conclusion to all that. So it's like a snapshot in time. The time frame is limited. The number of characters that you have in there are limited because you're looking at writing perhaps a 5-page story, 2, 3, 4, 5-page story, 15, 20, 25-page story. So there is flexibility in that, but the ingredients of plot and character and an engaging plot and an engaging conclusion and resolution to everything, those are standard no matter what type of story you want to write.